Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome back. I'm confused how this works, mainly because I've recorded all of the other episodes before this one. This is the first episode.
It is, yeah.
So welcome back to BnB Anime, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Anime Island, the show where I, your illustrious host, Brad Guerin, strand my fantastic guests onto a deserted island where they will live out the rest of their days. However, I'm not such a heartless asshole that I give them nothing while they are there. So besides, the bare necessities of food, water, shelter, all that shit, I also give them things that they don't need but are getting anyway in the form of 3 anime, a book, film, album, and video game of their choosing. My guest today, you have heard her voice already. She is one of my best friends. She is my business partner on the podcast, my partner in crime. She puts up with way too much shit, including letting me have the audacity to actually do the spin-off show on my own. Blue Lavender. Blue, how the hell are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm excited.
Are you excited? Are you excited for the shenanigans that are about to incur?
I am. I'm excited because you gave me a list of things that I needed and I just fucked it up. So
I mean, as with anything you and I do together, I fully intend on this falling to shit very quickly.
I'm not good with structure.
Again, I am very aware of this, which is why our podcast has quite literally dissolved from being one of the most structured things on the planet to just pure and utter bullshit, and I am here for all of it.
Yes, true.
So tell the homies about yourself.
Okay, I am English Canadian person, born in England, now live in Canada. I am an art school student currently. I do some voice acting shit. I do art shit. I guess you gathered that from the art school thing. And I have a fancy dancy little podcasty guy.
Yeah. That podcast that nobody's heard about.
No, and with that co-host that nobody knows who they are.
Yeah, that's not accurate. That's about the. Oh God, my ego.
You weren't supposed to take it seriously.
I'm supposed to be the villain in this story. I'm the one trapping people on a deserted island, and somehow my ego's been hurt.
Oh, hugs for Brad. Group hugs for Brad.
I gotta recover. I'll never recover. Oh God.
Oh, if nobody knows who you are, they also don't know who I am. So at least we're in it together.
Where was I going with this? I have forgotten.
I don't know. We were already devolved.
It pretty much. I expected nothing less. Do not take this episode for anything like the episodes to come, or do. I don't care. It's all just banter at the end of the day.
I feel like I'm an exception to the rule.
Literally, the only reason I wanted to do this is so I could have the opportunity to just talk about anime and just banter with the guests, and that's pretty much what it's become.
Yay!
I mean, I've really enjoyed this, and also I've really enjoyed just having the opportunity to just sit down and talk to people about anime on like a bit more of an official capacity, and more or less just learn why people's favorite anime are their favorites. Now, you being an exception because we talk about our favorites all the time.
True.
But this is more or less an excuse for you to tell everybody else who may not have listened to like our Animusing introductions episode of the podcast.
Yes.
To kind of get an idea of why we are the weebs that we are.
Yes.
So, with all of that being said, what got you into anime?
The twins. Blame them.
Yes, the twins.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I have met these 2 lovely ladies in high school, and we clicked right off the bat, and we became best friends, and they gave me the nickname Blue, which is the name that I use now whenever I'm online and or in school, and now I use it in university as well. It's my name when I'm not with my family. And they were like, hey, the only anime that you've watched is like Pokemon and Digimon, and that was pretty much it as a kid. So you need to watch more anime. And I'd seen my cousins super into it because they are half Japanese. And I was like, I knew of it, but I didn't watch it. And they were like, sit down. You're over at our house for the weekend. We are going to force you to watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I was like, okay. And so I sat down and I watched 5 episodes or something with them. We were talking and doing shit at the same time. Left, went back home, binged the rest of the show. Then I was like, do you have more? Feed me, see more. Like, I need more anime. And they gave me Sword Art Online, other things that I can't remember right now, but I watched other things. And then I found sports anime and my life was forever changed.
Could you say that you're now free because of sports anime?
I could, yeah. It was a major change in my life.
This is what that has become.
Yes, yeah.
Also, the structure, because next I'm supposed to ask you about, things that you've done with like content creation and shit like that, but you've already went over that.
I'm sorry, I did.
So, why did you start your podcast with this unknown co-host?
Because I was on Twitch one day, just streaming, playing some Minecraft probably, and then some weirdo came in my chat and was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, weirdo. And then we were like, let's be friends. And we were. And then I was like, hey, friend, I found this new anime that's cool, and it's about card games. And friend was like, card games? Nani? And I was like, yes, card games. And we watched it together. And I said, hey, what did you think of this episode? And they said, it was good. And that happened. And then we cried over the anime. And we were forever changed. And that was Chihaya Furu. And now, then we went, hey, you like anime, I like anime. What if we talked about the fact that we like anime and recorded it? And we were like, sure. And now it's been several years.
Anime about cards sounds fucking stupid. God, Chihaya Furu is so fucking good.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. If y'all haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's absolutely amazing. I got to finish the 3rd season because I still don't think I finished it yet.
I don't know if I have either. I think we were kind of watching
I don't think you ever started it.
I might not have.
Because you refuse to watch things week to week. For those that are new to all of this, Blue doesn't watch things week to week. I am the one out of the two of us that watches any and all anime on a week to week basis.
Yeah, I'm the kind of anime watcher that binges a 170 plus episode show in a week. Brad is the kind of person that will watch 17 different shows weekly.
That's about accurate right now, mate.
Yeah.
That number's not too awful far off. My girlfriend hasn't seen or heard from me. My family thinks I'm dead.
Yeah, so we have different viewing styles, but it means that I tend to watch all the stuff. So sometimes I creep into his Discord and I'm like, hey, I found a show that's from early 2000s that you've probably never heard of. Watch this. And he then responds with, hey, this new thing that's just come out is really good. So we end up like exploring different avenues.
And then she throws shit at me like Dive.
Sometimes I do, but then you throw shit at me like fucking Bubble.
Okay. I got nothing. I still haven't decided on a rating for that, by the way.
I'm still mad about it.
It's fine. You'll get over it in time.
You haven't gotten over Dive yet, so hush.
Okay, so here's the thing. Bubble and Dive are two very different things. Just because you've got something against fucking SpongeBob's... I don't even know where I was going to go with that. I had that episode of SpongeBob with the bubble in mind.
The one where Patrick blows it... No, SpongeBob blows it up into an elephant and Patrick goes, it's a giraffe.
Yeah, and then it becomes a man with like a top hat, and then it becomes sentient and hops in a fucking bubble taxi, goes away. I was gonna go with something like that, but I'm not quick-witted enough to come up with something like that.
I would take that bubble over Bubble, because that bubble at least takes a human form in the end.
So does the other one.
No, but like I can't say that without spoiling the whole film. Bubble.
That's fine. That's fine. Still. You cannot tell me by any shape of the imagination that Bubble was worse than Dive.
No, but Dive doesn't make you care as much.
The fact that it makes you care means that it's actually decent.
No, it means that it's dumb, because then it just leaves its characters being tortured at the end for the rest of eternity. It's bad. Finish your films.
Actually learn how to make a good fucking anime.
I think it was promotion for the Olympics. Leave it alone.
It's bullshit, is what it is. It's a bullshit anime about a concept that could be really good. They could have taken a page out of Free's book and actually made a good fucking anime. No, instead, it couldn't even make me care about a sport that I could have been very fucking interested in.
Well, maybe.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about differences in anime. No. We're here to talk about your favorites.
We just went into podcast brain, like other podcast brain.
Isn't that all of our conversations in general?
Honestly, though. Yelling at each other about anime.
We're literally just here to bicker back and forth. That's what this friendship has dissolved into, is just bickering.
It genuinely has.
But I don't know, I'm here for the banter. It's great. It's a fun time.
Mm.
So, how are you enjoying your stay on the island?
It's warmer than Canada. Somebody walked past my island window. How dare they?
Oh, how dare they? What the hell?
What the hell?
So, outside of your basic accommodations, you are allowed anime, because why not?
Yay!
So, what is your first offering to be burned onto a DVD? Because I am not bougie enough to get you a Blu-ray.
Well, sorry, I just heard what you said. Just registered. Fair enough. Okay.
Love that.
When you're on an island, you gotta eat. Do you not?
Well, I mean, I am providing you food, so yes.
But sometimes you just don't know what to do with the food.
Oh, okay, yeah, valid. Okay.
So, how do you figure out what to do with the food? You watch anime about food.
I was going to say call Gordon Ramsay, but that one works too.
I don't have a phone on the island.
Oh, that's right. Right.
Yeah. So
self-service out in the middle of nowhere is so fucking expensive. So, of course, I'm not giving you a phone.
Honestly, though. Yeah. And if I had phone, then I'd probably have Wi-Fi, which would mean that I'd be able to watch shit, you know?
No. Too far-fetched. Far-fetched.
Okay. Fair enough. No phone.
No phone. No.
But I still gotta eat. And sometimes
Valid.
when I eat, I feel a little bit competitive. I don't know about you.
Are you telling me you're going to use this island as an excuse for us to have a, I don't know, a said cooking competition that we talked about the entire time you were streaming?
Yeah, I feel like it would be a good venue, you know? I feel like it could be, you know, a shokugeki of sorts.
Oh, okay. So you're telling me that you actually want to compete in a, God, what is it? A food battle?
More like a war.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So my first choice is Shokugeki no Soma or Food Wars.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So why Food Wars of all things?
First of all, there's a shit ton of episodes, so I don't feel like I would get bored of it watching it. You know, I could watch different seasons and enjoy different parts. Mm-hmm. Second of all, fucking food, my guy.
Valid. Food is a necessary substance for life.
Yep.
Love food. Food is great.
And third of all, it's just freaking good. I think because of the progression of the anime, the way that it starts and the way that it goes through the series, you get different flavors, as it were, of plot lines throughout the show. You watch the first season, it's just one step off hentai. And, you know, that's a vibe sometimes. And then...
I'm clipping that. That's going to be used against you later.
Fair enough. You get to the end, though, and they're about to be stepping in fucking Gundams and having a huge, fisticuffs.
Such a good anime, though,
it's
man.
So good.
So good.
It's so good. It hits your romance parts. It hits your action parts. You get suspense. You get family drama. You get food. What more do you want?
Food, like now.
Yeah, please serve it to me. That's the only thing is I would have to have adequate amount of snacks to be able to watch the show when on the island. I
mean, Pocky for days. I know that was my go-to snack, back whenever you and I were watching Food Wars heavily, back before this podcast became a thing.
No, it makes Food Wars taste like Pocky, if that makes sense.
You know, no joke. So, you know how I told you that I got my friend Bonk into Food Wars?
Yeah.
The entire time that I was watching that, I was literally just sitting there munching, or I just wanted Pocky just because of how much I munched on it whenever we first started watching it.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there, I go, something's missing. And then I'm like, oh, matcha Pocky. I'm so upset.
Yeah. Yeah, those ice drinks taste like high school to me.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to drink a shit ton of those during high school because you could get them in crates from Costco.
Uh-huh.
And they were really easy to just like grab one and go to school. And so every
Mhm.
time I drink one now, I'm like, this tastes like high school.
Ah, makes sense. Makes sense. I'm still pissed that y'all have Fruitopia.
We do. I have some in my fridge right now.
I'm so sad.
Mm.
So sad. So what got you into Food Wars?
I actually don't remember. I don't remember if it was you that watched it first or me that watched it first, but one of us watched it first and then we sent it to the other one and we started watching it around the same time.
Yeah, I don't recall either. I genuinely don't know. Like now I'm sitting here like perplexed as to what it was that got us into it.
Yeah, I vaguely think it was me that sent it to you, but I could be very wrong and it could be the other way around.
I'm not certain. The only thing I remember for certain is like I remember being in a cabin because this was back whenever I first moved to Georgia and before I moved into my apartment.
Mm.
So I remember sitting in the cabin because there was very shitty Wi-Fi. So I had to just watch what was available on my Fire Stick at the time, and I hadn't downloaded Crunchyroll on it, so I had it on Hulu. And I remember starting the dub for Food Wars because that's a thing that actually exists, unfortunately. And I remember watching it, and I don't remember if I started watching it because of you, but I remember it was like within like 3 or 4 days of us like initially meeting whenever I popped into your Stardew stream. And I remember like around that time starting it, and then like it just kicking off from there, and then we just could not stop.
Yeah, a complete binge. And it's one of those shows that like I actually did watch Food Wars episode by episode at one point. Like that's how into this show I have been in the past. And like I don't know, it's just stupid good, and I have a lot of really good memories associated with the show because obviously of watching it with you and being streaming on Twitch and updating everyone on Twitch about Food Wars and like what happened, and pretty much pestering all of my friends to watch it. Like, and you've done the same. If somebody first gets into anime and you're like, I'm going to throw you into the deep end and watch Food Wars. It's really dumb. It's so good. It's dumb that it's so good.
So, okay, my memory is kind of being jogged. I think it was me that suggested it to you, but only because it was right as like the second season started. So I think I was scrolling Crunchy on my phone and I saw that. And I was like, hey, have you watched Food Wars? And I think you're like, no. So I was like, we should start it.
Yeah. And I think that was right when we just wrapped up on the first season of Chihaya.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Yes, we watched Chihaya, watched the first season, and then we were looking for something else to watch.
I was like, oh, hey, we both like food.
We both like food.
So why not?
Yeah.
So, all right, with Food Wars being your first offering, you are also allowed to take with you an album and a book. So what are your offerings for those?
Yeah, well, because I can't decide anything, I have gone with Elton John. And I want like his like the best of.
I'm sure that album exists somewhere, so sure, why not? So why Elton John?
I feel like Elton John has enough songs that were like in my childhood, but because he's got such a large volume of music, there's kind of, I feel like on a best of album there will be a song for every emotion, you know? And sometimes you want a song to fit your vibe. So Elton John, he's got that childhood for me. He's got the mood going. He's kind of a bit groovy. Sometimes you just want to groove, you know? I feel like Elton John would suit me on an island. Although I did struggle with going with Elton John or something a little bit more like chilled out, like I don't know, like Passenger or like a jazz album or something that's just like, you know, just chill music. But sometimes I really want to like dance around in the kitchen, you know? Makes sense.
Yeah. Perfect Food Wars vibes.
Yeah. So I went with Elton John. For book, I struggled for book, and I'm stuck between two.
All right, what are you stuck between?
First of all, Robin Hood.
No, okay, makes sense.
I mean, who doesn't freaking love the idea of a archer that's going against the medieval government and shooting arrows through arrows and stuff? And I've read the book, and it's very good. I enjoy it. It's a bit of a harder read, though, which is why I was, like, apprehensive about it, is because it's not, like, just sit down and read it, like, it's very easy, because it is old. But that, and also on a similar vein, but also totally different vibes, the manga of Laid Back Camp.
Okay, also a really good shout.
Right? So, because I'm thinking, like, I'm on an island, right? I want to be island vibes. And although, like, Robin Hood is kind of like a forest vibe, I mean, it's in Sherwood Forest, but, like, I still feel like it would give me the energy to go handcraft my own bow and shoot off, like, a pigeon or something. I don't know what would be on the island. You know what I mean, though? It gives you that vibe to go and do shit on the island. And I feel like Laid Back Camp kind of gives that same energy, but also is like, hey, take a second and just appreciate this stream, you know?
Mm. So as this is your episode, I do allow some sort of leeway. So do you want to take Laid Back Camp and Robin Hood and squash any further leeway you may have down the road? Because again, I'm not that heartless of a bastard, but I am still some sort of heartless.
I don't know, because I have one more that I was telling you about beforehand, and that's why you're telling me I have to squash it.
What's more important?
Both.
I was going to say, I feel like no matter what I say, you're still going to interject your later one. Anyway.
It's going to happen. I have to talk about it. So whether or not I take it or not, it's going to be spoken about.
It's all right. Decision time.
But the other one's jokes.
Okay.
Don't be rude.
I couldn't even hold that one.
I would rather leave Elton John, honestly.
You would rather leave Elton John and take a manga.
Is that dumb? Like, that's how I'm feeling right now.
No, I mean, realistically, what you could do is turn your anime on in the background and use its soundtrack instead of having an album.
Yeah, and the film that I chose has a really good, like, atmospheric soundtrack.
Okay, that's also valid.
So fuck off Elton John. I'm going with Robin Hood and Laid Back Camp.
Okay, I'll allow it. Yeah. I'll allow it. For future guests on this, you are allowed to substitute items, so keep that in mind. I'll allow it. Why not? Although I give some leeway, I will allow substitutions. It's like a restaurant. You just got to pay more whenever you substitute shit.
Yeah, I want avocado.
I'll give you guacamole.
Deal.
All right. So what? Fuck. Second offering for your anime. Let's hear it.
Okay, this one was also a struggle because I'm indecisive. I wanted a sports anime. I don't think that was shocking.
What? No.
Honestly, there's two that I go on about and do not shut up about.
Mm-hmm.
I have settled on one.
What have you settled on?
I've settled on Haikyuu.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. There's more to Haikyuu that's coming out, and if I can get a shipment of new DVD releases.
I mean, I do allow a whole series.
Yeah.
So I can continue to supply you, like just airdrop you like one DVD at a time.
I would appreciate the Haikyuu fix. I can
do that.
That would be grand. So my other option was Prince of Tennis. But although I really enjoy the fact that Prince of Tennis is like very casual viewing experience, Haikyuu makes me laugh more.
Not only that, but Haikyuu just gets you invested.
Yeah. Prince of Tennis does get you invested, but less so. And because there's so many episodes, I kind of feel like you fizzle out. Haikyuu has the same amount of episodes, but because I watched it continuously, like I'm so excited for the next season to come out. I'm so excited for the next season to come out. It kind of gave me that Food Wars vibe, and I have that level of nostalgia that I don't have with Prince of Tennis. Even though Prince of Tennis is older, and I should have necessarily developed that nostalgia, I didn't, because I didn't actually grow up watching it.
Makes sense.
So Haikyuu is what I'm going with.
So why Haikyuu? Overall,
Haikyuu makes me motivated. I feel like that's a theme throughout all of these. Is Laid Back Camp makes me motivated to go outside. Robin Hood makes me motivated to go craft bows and live in the forest. Food Wars makes me motivated to eat. Haikyuu makes me motivated to be active.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. It makes me laugh. Makes me feel like I want to go out and like study something or train, or it gives you that like I need to go put effort in to do the thing that I really like.
Mm-hmm. So what got you into Haikyuu? How did that one come about?
That was just me scrolling through trying to find sports animes that I liked, and this first season of this volleyball anime came out and everyone was like, this is okay, like it's fine. and it hadn't really picked up a lot of steam yet. And I had just finished watching Free, which at the time was kind of like the biggest sports anime, or like the most beloved sports anime.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think I just finished watching Major, which was another really, really long series, like Prince of Tennis. And I was like, oh, I want to watch something that's kind of shorter, something that's newer. And I found Haikyuu. People said it was okay. I watched the first episode, and the animations of the facial expressions cracked me up. So I was hooked, and that was it. And I went to Animathon that year, and somebody had made a little, like, in Artist Alley, an artist had made little Haikyuu postcards, and I bought 2 of them, and they are still on my stream background. Even though I don't stream, I still have them. They're right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And then every single time a new season of Haikyuu came out, I jumped right on that shit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's because of you that I got into Haikyuu, so I have you to thank for that.
You're welcome. It's great.
So, regular Haikyuu or Ghibli Haikyuu? I just brought up a huge point for contention.
Regular.
Regular?
Yeah,
okay.
regular.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
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 All right. So you are also allowed to take with you a film and a video game. So what film will you be taking?
This is one that Brad put in my brain. You did this to me.
I mean, just because of how much you won't shut up about it and how much you're trying to get the main character to steal my girlfriend from me.
Yeah, true. It's one that I only watched fairly recently, actually. I hadn't seen it before, but I heard a lot about it. That is Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is one of like the big 3 or big 5 of Ghibli films.
Yes.
And in fact, for most people's list, it actually sits near to, if not the top spot.
Yeah.
Like that, Spirited Away and Kiki's Delivery Service or Princess Mononoke are like usually like the top
Totoro,
3 thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Totoro is timeless. So definitely in with the big ones. So why Howl's Moving Castle?
I think it's because, like, it's pretty well known on the podcast that I am not a huge fan of romance, but I do appreciate romance in other things. For instance, Chihaya Furu is a really good example of that. Like, it's mainly about karata and high school life and, you know, facing your fears and shit like that. But there is, like, a level of romance that goes throughout the show. Food Wars is also the same. There's a level of romance that does develop throughout. And Howl's Moving Castle has that as well. It's not the predominant storyline necessarily, although it is an element of it, but there's also witchcraft, and there's like steampunk vibes, there's just adventure, and again, it does that thing of like, after you watch it, you want to go and run into the forest barefoot and find cool rocks, you know? Like it
makes sense.
Yeah, it gives you that vibe of like, let's go have an adventure. Let's go explore.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go on an adventure. And then video game.
Video game is Minecraft.
You see, I figured for you it was either going to be Minecraft or Sims. I just couldn't quite decide which one.
Yeah, see, I feel like the reason why I settled on Minecraft is that I feel like Minecraft I won't say you can necessarily do more, but I feel like with Sims, you have, like, if you have all the expansion packs and everything, like both Sims and Minecraft can be heavily modded.
Mm-hmm.
Sims, I feel like custom content and stuff on there kind of unlocks a whole new side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft, I feel like, is a really solid game on its own. So
have you played any of the new updates?
I haven't played them myself. I have watched like Hermitcraft and stuff.
Also, other question. Just because I feel like making your brain overload a bit. Mm-hmm. Did you ever finish that castle?
No, but I've been thinking, like, I've genuinely been thinking about it the past couple of weeks of like, when I get back to my apartment in Toronto, I'm gonna like load it up and have another go at it.
Can we have a stream?
Well, I was thinking that. I was like, should I stream, like, because I was wondering if I should go into like creative and stream going into creative and just like playing, or if I should go back into the world and try and like actually get some good gear and do it all in survival. I don't know though.
I mean, at this point, like, I just got to thinking about it the other day too. I was like, in fact, I think I might have been streaming, and I remember James popping in and talking about it. Was the subathon, actually. James and Pixels were there and they were talking about the old days, and I was like, I miss the castle. Like, I miss those just chill days because I've met some really great people through that, and having like a lot of the new streaming group in the chat as well at the time. I was like, I got really sentimental with the fact of I have met so many fucking great people through Twitch, and it just brought me back to the castle days. And I was like, I missed that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll do a nostalgia stream and we can load up the castle.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah.
One last time. Yeah.
I feel like I want to go in there on survival, but just like creative myself some good gear and then work on the castle for a bit. And then maybe if we do like a stream of that, then I'll go in on creative afterwards and just fuck that shit up.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Just purely for giggles.
Just for giggles.
So what got you into Minecraft? I know you and I had like a similar start to Minecraft in a way, like we got into it around the same time.
Yeah. So my brother actually got into Minecraft when it was in alpha. Mm-hmm. He's a computer programmer. He's always searching for new small like games that he finds that he likes. And he found Minecraft in alpha. I think I was in middle school at the time. And he bought it for like, I don't know, 30 cents or something stupid, like pennies. Mm-hmm. And he played it for a while and he was like, hey, this is pretty good. And when I was in high school, so like a year or so later, I finally bought it. I think it was just in beta at the time. Mm-hmm. And then I got the twins to play it, and they were the one who obviously gave me the nickname Blue. So my Minecraft handle then became Blue Lavender. And we then, we had Minecraft nights all the time in high school. They would come over to this very room, actually, the room that I'm in. And we had a couch in here. And we would have our laptops that could not handle video games. And we would have those, USB plug-in fans that, sit under your computer. Mm-hmm. And we'd have, 3 of those. We'd have computers stacked on books. We'd all be sitting on the floor. We would order pizza. And we would just be having, Minecraft nights that would end up being a Minecraft weekend that ended up pretty much being an entire summer. Watching anime and playing Minecraft. And that's how I got into it. And then I started streaming, and I started streaming Minecraft. I stopped playing it for a few years around the 1.12 update, I think. And then around 1.13, I then jumped into streaming. I think that's right. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah. And then started playing it on stream, and that got me my audience. So I met Brad and Pixels and Jen and James and Sync and all of the other friends.
Speaking of, 2 of those have told me to tell you hi.
Oh, well, hi back.
Yeah, James and Sync have told me to tell you hi. I'm going to have to cut this out later just because, brain.
Mm.
But they've told me I forget to tell you because they pop into the streams. So I'm like, I'll remember one of these days, I promise. I still need to talk to Jen. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I need to text Jen back. She texted me the other day and I need to text her back.
Rude.
I know. I'm rude.
Hashtag rude.
So rude.
I'm going to carve that into your tombstone. Don't worry.
Honestly, you should do bad with communication, extra rude.
But I'm going to make sure that I'm late for bad at communication. I'm going to make sure I'm late to your funeral just so I can carve it in.
Perfect. You know what? That's fine. I still want to be shot out of a cannon. That's how I want my body to be disposed of.
Sure.
Yeah. Or like a Viking funeral where I'm put on a ship and then you shoot a flaming arrow out into the,
Okay. We know some people that could probably set this up, but I want dibs on the arrow firing.
Sure. As long as you hit. Don't miss.
What's the worst that could happen?
I don't know. You set an oil spill on fire?
Or I set somebody else on fire on accident.
But yeah, I want a Viking funeral. That sounds like a good grand old vibe to me.
Sweet. Speaking of vibes.
Yes.
Your last offering. Seamless transition. Just enough to break the brain. I love it.
I want something that's going to make me laugh now. I want something. I've got Layback Camp to make me chill out a little bit while I'm reading it, but I want something to chill out a little bit while I'm watching it and to just have some giggles. So I don't think that if you know me, this will be a surprise.
I mean, I saw this one coming a mile away before we actually sat down to do this episode.
Also, the OP is a huge banger. So the fact that I don't have Elton John, fine. I've got Tanaka-kun's OP.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, it's such a good anime. Such a good OP.
Such a good OP. Such a good anime. I can watch it over and over and over again and still laugh at the jokes. I reference it all the time, especially with COVID when I was like wearing the masks and I would like make faces at people under the mask, and I just think about Tanaka-kun. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's good for my skin, and my skin will end up all sparkly afterwards.
Oh, I love that so much. Do you want to tell everybody how we ended up coming across Tanaka-kun?
Yeah, so we were planning for the podcast and we were trying to like sort out our spreadsheet, and I just went on Crunchyroll and I just started scrolling. And I found it and I sent it to Brad and I was like, hey, what do you think of this? And hadn't watched anything of it. And he was like, yeah, sure, I guess. And we both just watched it and freaking died and fell in love. And it's like still our top comedy anime.
Oh, it is absolutely amazing. If I'm ever in the need for a laugh, I will literally just load up an episode and just have a ball with it. It's so dumb. I showed it to people after we watched Your Lie in April this year because everybody needed to cheer up anime after that.
Yeah.
And it did a brilliant job with it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's so good. It's so good. If you haven't watched it, hugely, hugely recommend.
Highly, highly, highly recommended. It's on High Dive because it's a Sentai Filmworks thing. So you can find it there. It's worth a watch.
It is.
It's so worth a fucking watch. It's fantastic.
Yes.
You'll laugh your ass off. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
Yeah. And the
10 out of 10.
The gifs of it.
Oh my God. I still use those gifs to this day.
Me too. But especially the one of her hitting on the desk, but the other one of Tanaka like under his arm, just hanging there with toast in his mouth.
Pretty much. Yeah. Just if you're ever having a listless day, that's the gift to go to.
Yes. Yeah. Tanaka-kun is always listless is the full title.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
But before we go, I have an extra one to sneak in.
How dare. I know. I was literally getting ready to start my wrap up.
I know. I knew you were. I could hear it in your tone. I was like, no. I'm on an island. I'm stranded on an island. You can't not have Are You Lost?
The Daily Lives of High School Boys?
No, Are You Lost? Although
I don't remember
we did cover
one.
them together and they're both very good.
We did. That's why I was trying to make a joke of it.
Are You Lost? It's literally about some high school girls stuck on an island and they teach you how to eat cicadas and shit. Like, I need it. That's just survival care.
I am quite literally giving you all the necessities you need for life.
But I can put that in the first aid kit and then whip it out whenever I need it. You know, like, it's just an extra. It's first aid anime. Like, Food Wars counts as food. This counts as first aid. It's fine. It's survival tactics.
Oh, yes, this counts as first aid.
It does. It's like one of those reflective blankets. You just wear it. It's fine.
Oh, my God. I love it. I love it so much.
If you're 18 plus, check out Are You Lost?
Yeah, 100% have to be 18 plus for this anime. God, it's such a trip of a show, but it was enjoyable. I kind of want to go back and rewatch it just for giggles because it's so short. You can rewatch it or you can watch it within a couple of hours.
See, it's not even a full anime. It's a half pint anime. It's fine.
Still, you're breaking the laws of the show, and this is only the first episode.
But Tilly's a half pint dog, so she deserves a half pint anime, and she wants to take Are You Lost?
You know what? I will allow Tilly to take an anime because obviously I'm not sending you to the island alone. I have to send Bean.
Yeah.
So therefore, this can be Beans.
Okay, that's Bean's anime. Even though she's not old enough to watch it yet, but that's fine. She can watch House Moving Castle and Tanaka-kun.
No, in doggo years, definitely old enough.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she's like
because Bean is what 3 now.
Yeah, so she's like 21.
Yeah, so see, perfectly. Old enough to watch Are You Lost. That's brilliant. I love that.
Perfect.
So, with all of your offerings out of the way, do you have anything you want to plug before we go?
I want to plug the podcast. Check out BnB Anime.
What is this podcast? Please tell the viewers.
It's a podcast where me and the person who is currently not speaking but also on this recording watch a whole new anime every week. And sometimes it's a movie, sometimes it's a 12 one-core series, sometimes it's a 2-core series if we're feeling like exhausting ourselves. And we review them in ways that people who like anime but have zero qualifications do. And there is banter. We like to talk about ourselves. So sometimes every time we spend some selfish moments talking about ourselves. And news. Sometimes Brad does news.
I like how I'm in charge of news.
You are in charge of news. I don't remember to do news.
I don't remember to do anything here lately. I'm surprised I had news ready for the fucking Bell episode.
Yes.
Oh, good.
We also talk about some pop culture stuff. Like often we'll talk about video games, or we talked about Johnny Depp's court case in a previous episode recently.
Yeah, you can check that out in whatever episode that was. I can't remember.
That was the one was that Bubble? No, what was the one before this?
Odd Taxi.
Odd Taxi. It was Odd Taxi.
Yeah. That everything?
Yeah, that's everything.
All right. So, Blue, thank you so much for joining me on this absolute fantastic roller coaster ride of what was a first episode to set the bar for things to come. I really appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to branch out and do my own bullshit for this.
I like your bullshit. Your bullshit's good. Good bullshit.
It's great. It's great. It's a fun time. I'm very blessed to be able to, for one, do BnB itself, but also be able to go out and do my own shenanigans of finding other like-minded weebs and figuring out what tickles their weeb brain.
Otaku for the win.
Exactly. But again, thank you so much for joining me for the next episode coming out in a couple of weeks. We have my good friend and fellow streamer, Nico Mode.
Ooh, such excite.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited to finally get this series up and rolling. So we've got at least 7 episodes good to go already, and more to come. I promise I'm working on planning more. I just got to remember to message people. But anyway, thank y'all so much for listening. Blue and I greatly appreciate it, and we will catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.